Steel Curtain Network.
Touchdown! Touchdown para Calvin Austin! El Monte Washington es arma. ¿Quién más? ¿Quién más? DJ Watt!
What is going on, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Steelers Preview Podcast. I'm Jeff Hartman, joined by Dave Schofield and Bryan Davis. It is the Halloween edition, everyone. Welcome to the party. I'm going as my favorite hockey player of all time, Le Magnifique. If you don't know who that is, well, you're not a Penguins fan. But anyways, Dave Schofield, what's up? How are you?
I am in touch with the Force, trying to manipulate this Sunday's matchup as much as I can.
Okay. Sorry.
I don't even know if you can hear me.
No, you sound good.
For those on the audio side, he's wearing what is that mask?
This is my Kylo Ren Steelers mask that gets me on the Jumbotron every time I could wear it at the stadium, but since COVID, they haven't let me in with it. So
okay.
Instead, It just sits here next to my podcasting station.
All right. Next, we've got a crazy mustache wearing man, Bryan Davis. What's up?
Not Sharpie, but it's dry erase. And I am wearing my Detroit Tigers hat, my Hawaiian shirt. I am the greatest TV detective of all time, Thomas Sullivan Magnum. And I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have a lot to talk about here in this Steelers preview podcast. We're getting ready for it's a tough one. It's going to be a tough game. Dave, you're going to be in attendance. Or oh no, he's
no, I'm sorry.
Yes,
you
can take the helmet off, Dave.
That's what I was going to do.
Okay, do that. But Bryan, what's your gut reaction, or not reaction, but your thoughts about this upcoming game, Week 9, Colts 7-1 coming to town? What's your takeaway? What is your gut telling you?
You know, Jonathan Taylor has put so many great weeks together. All these guys have been putting so many great weeks together. You wonder if it hits a snag against the least likely opponents in the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, the Steelers do very well against the Colts all time, and I'm sure Dave's going to talk about that. They do even better at home against them. So,
do you know what the record is in the Colts record is in Pittsburgh?
I think it's one loss, and that's 2000. That's probably your trivia, so I'm not going to say it.
No. That's actually not my trivia. So this is good if we talk about it now.
It's one loss in 2008.
Yeah. So since they've become the Indianapolis Colts, they've only had one loss. The Steelers have only lost to them one time in Pittsburgh. The Steelers are 12-1 against them. You're right. 2008, that 24-20 loss, Ben Roethlisberger versus Peyton Manning. They had another one as the Baltimore Colts that they won in Pittsburgh, but that was Earl Morrall versus good old Nick Shiner in 1968,
yes.
Where the Colts won 41-7.
Freaking Shiner, he sucks.
So overall, they are the Steelers are 16-2 at home against the Colts.
All right.
That's a great.
Any other thoughts there, Bryan?
Bryan.
No, I feel that. I'm picking against them, and that's a spoiler, and because I said I would the other day, but it wouldn't surprise me being at home, getting stuff together, the fact that it's not on prime time. I feel like this is going to be a lot closer than many would think, and it's possible to pull off an upset, and it would be an upset. So, you know, just when you think things are really bad for the Steelers, they pull a rabbit out of the hat, and hopefully this rabbit is one that they are familiar with throwing into the pot like Glenn Close did in 1987 in Fatal Attraction and boiled that buddy.
Okay, Dave, you're going to be there, Dave.
I will be there.
So
yes. I'm putting my wife's perfect record on the line. She has never been to a Steelers game where they have lost. So we'll see how this works out. This is a tough one. I mean, the beginning of the season, you're like, oh no, that maybe not. But the way the season's going, you're looking and they're like, this is where they are right now. You're not going to get a better team with that kind of record coming in at this point of the season. Where it's going to be tougher than this. But yeah, we'll be there. We talked about it on Scobro's show. I did not realize. Did you guys realize they were honoring the Super Bowl 40 team or something this weekend? I assume they'll do it at the game. I know they have something going on Saturday that the media is supposed to be there for. If you get the media reports that I saw. But that's the Lombardi that we decided we were going to meet at. Anyone that's going to this game, if you want to see Big Brosco and I, we're going to go by the Super Bowl 40 trophy at 12:15 in the Great Hall. So if you're going to be there, stop by and say hey before we all head to our seats. We just thought we'd do it because a couple people in our live chat said that they were going to be at the game as well. So not that we'll do anything special other than just saying, hey, nice to meet you face to face. But yeah, hopefully it'll be a good trip home, but it's not like it's not stacked against them.
It is, it's a tall task, that's for sure. And the Colts are a good team. I do think it's funny, though, the Steelers fan base, we're a fickle bunch. And, even though the Steelers have won 4 games, everyone always loves to say, well, even Steeler fans, who have they beaten? Who have they beaten? I mean, you could play that game with everyone. Dave, you mentioned this on Pittsburgh Standard Time this morning.
That made me feel better when I actually looked at who the Colts have played. It actually did.
They did. They've had a very soft underbelly of their schedule. The Chargers game, I think, was their best win of the year by far.
They had a 1-point win against Denver in week 2 as well.
Do you remember how that happened?
But wasn't that
was the play where the Denver Broncos should have won the game, but then they got flagged with jumping over, catapulting off of the snapper or something, some special teams penalty.
Yeah.
And so it is what it is. There, as Bill Parcells once said, you are what your record says you are. Yeah. And the Colts are a good team and the Steelers are struggling. That's what we need to know. And so I think it's important to get right into it. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about, and we got a trivia and all that stuff at the second half of the show. So stick around. But let's start right off with the injury report. Dave, what do we got for the Steelers? This is a lengthy one. Good.
I was going to say we need to have a lot of time for this one.
Yeah.
So there's not as much vet resting. Cam Hayward got today, but not yesterday. So did DK Metcalf. Jonnu Smith got yesterday, but not today. That's it for the vet resting for the Steelers. Scotty Miller, 2 days in a row, did not practice with his finger. I'm looking for him to be out this week. And honestly, I think he's the odd man out anyway. Yeah. Ben Skoranek showed up with a neck injury yesterday where he was limited, but I'm like, oh no, was that in practice or something there? He was full today. So that's good. They still have Deshaun Elliott, Daniel Ekwale. They are both on the injury report with their knees because they haven't been put on IR. There was the report that, the Steelers are going to put Deshaun Elliott on IR to make room for Duggar. Yeah, but they didn't have to because they only had 52 players. So they didn't yet. Now, I'm not saying that they're not going to go on eventually here, but they didn't have to do that yet. So that's why they're still showing up on the report. Kyle Duggar was there for his first practice. He was on the injury report because apparently he had a knee that was when he was in New England. So they want to put that, but he was a full participant. Jabril Peppers popped up on Thursday as a limited participant with a quadricep. That's something you might want to keep an eye on. Zach Frazier didn't practice Wednesday with his calf, was limited on Thursday. I think that's a good progression for him. Pat Freiermuth didn't practice Wednesday, but was back to full on Thursday with his quadricep. Isaac Seumalo did not practice either day. I did not expect him to. If there's any chance of him playing, that's all about Friday, in my opinion. Let's see. The only other people then we had was Cole Holcomb popped up on Thursday where he didn't practice due to an illness. After the injury report came out, they added Darius Slay that he didn't practice for personal reasons. That's something that we could maybe get into. But also the 3 players that have their windows open, their 21-day windows, Will Howard, full both days, Blake Harrison, full both days, Corey Trice with his hamstring.
Oh, gosh.
And then he shows up with a knee on Thursday.
Yeah.
Now, unless it says hamstring on Steelers.com, but the image by the PR department said knee, didn't it?
It did. That's why I thought that everyone's like, oh, it must be a re-aggravation. It's like, no, he went on with a hamstring injury.
Yeah.
And so if it's a knee injury, that's a new injury.
I mean,
I don't know.
I said on Sco Bro, a lot of people are like, oh, give us Corey Trice. Maybe he's going to help everything. Is the answer for the Steelers really a 7th round draft pick that's only appeared in 6 games in 2 seasons?
Yeah.
That's how bad it is. Ugh. So
what are you going to say, Bryan?
It's time once again for another Bryan Anthony Davis conspiracy theory. And this one is the number 27. Not only is Corey Trice always on the injured list, hardly playing, reminds me of another who would have been a great Pittsburgh Steeler, but never played in a regular season game. I don't even think he played in a preseason game. Number 27, Senquez Golson.
He didn't play in a preseason game. He didn't even see, I don't even know if he ever saw a padded practice.
I think he did his second season.
Okay.
Before he got hurt again. But yeah. You want a conspiracy theory? What's Darius Slay with his personal? Was he personally get his feelings hurt because he's benched and didn't want to practice?
I think he's packing for Philadelphia.
What's that?
Oh, you think he gets traded?
He gets traded to the Eagles.
Back to the Eagles?
He's going back to the Eagles. I'm telling you, that's my other theory. That's my conspiracy. Hey, this is a Halloween show. We could have curses and conspiracy theories. So the 27's a curse. Darius Slay, he will be a Philadelphia Eagle next week.
That's interesting. I've heard people say.
I don't think anyone would want him. That's about the only place where anyone would take him.
I'm like, why would somebody want Darius Slay? He's looked like garbage this season. Why would anyone want him?
He will go to Philadelphia and be very valuable there.
Yeah. He'll go there and look great.
It's like when you go back to New England. A guy goes elsewhere, then Belichick brings him back, and you're like, or the same with the Ravens happen to do that with guys that they bring back off the scrap heap.
Darius Slay for AJ Brown straight up. Is that what we're looking at?
Well, there's people on the live chat. There's people on the live chat that want to throw in Mike Tomlin at the trade deadline.
All right. So I will say that the injury report is very confusing for all the different missteps that Dave mentioned with the different injury to Trice. But for the players that are playing, I think this is a pretty good step in the right direction. You get Zach Frazier out there. The biggest question mark for me is Isaac Seumalo.
Yeah.
And what is his Friday going to look like? And even if he doesn't practice, something Tomlin said on Tuesday, though, not a lot of people have talked about, is that he said that he would be okay with him not practicing and playing if he's ready, if he's good. And so even I could see him maybe even being like super limited, like goes through stretches and then is considered questionable and they decide to play him because he says he's a veteran. It's not like Mason McCormick who needs the repetitions, who needs to be out there. I just want to know if he doesn't play, can they still run the jumbo package? And if so, what does that even look like?
Ooh,
go Dave.
I'm going to say right now, I'm calling my shot. Isaac Seumalo. If he's deemed questionable, he's going to play. The only way he doesn't play is if they rule him out tomorrow.
Okay. So I thought you were going to take a stab at the jumbo package of what it would look like.
I've got that stab now because actually it's not a stab. It's a question. Do you play Spencer Anderson in place of Isaac Seumalo, who played there all preseason, did a nice job? I'm actually excited for getting the opportunity because I think he's doing a good job. But when you go jumbo, do you bring in somebody else to run the jumbo, or do you bring in somebody else to play guard and put Anderson in the jumbo? Was that what you were going to say, Bryan?
You put in Anderson. Yeah. And in fact, that's what Anderson's that's always been a tackle type position that we've seen in the jumbo before. It's usually on the other side, but Anderson he's been around a while and he's very capable to put in as a jumbo. Yeah. And they really feel that Spencer Anderson, and a lot of people have said this, that Anderson might be the left guard of the future. They don't expect Seumalo back, and they really think that they like what they have in Spencer Anderson. And so far, the fans are clamoring for Spencer Anderson because they love him in this role. I mean, my gosh, if you are the tackle eligible or now the jumbo package guy, you're a superstar in Pittsburgh.
So if they take Spencer Anderson, you guys are both suggesting, I just want to make sure I'm on the same page with you, that they take Spencer Anderson and they keep him as that eligible offensive lineman, correct?
No.
Oh, you're saying keep him at left guard.
Keep him at left guard. Now, last week I was mad that they did it because... No,
that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
I'm saying keep him at left guard when you're not in jumbo.
But when you go jumbo,
you bring in another lineman to play left guard.
Okay, so
let Anderson go out to the jumbo?
Who's that lineman then that you would put in left
honestly,
guard?
Some people say Ryan McCullum. It could be. Honestly, he would have to be active. If Seumalo's inactive, I think it's Andrews Pete.
Oh, I forgot. He's been inactive
every game because no one on the offensive line has been hurt. And he could be guard or tackle. I think at this point in his career, he's a better guard.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
based on the preseason.
Now I'm going in a little different direction, fellas. I'm feeling Calvin Anderson could do a good job at that jumbo spot anyways.
That's a possibility.
And so with the fact that Anderson might be the guy for the future at left guard, put him in there. I was just angered that they scrapped the whole thing last week and didn't put somebody in to go ahead and take that spot. I was so upset. If you listen to the show with Kevin and I, here we go, the Steelers show.
I did.
I just didn't understand why you would just scrap the entire plan and you didn't have a backup plan for if somebody on the offensive line goes out.
I don't know. So that's interesting. So we'll keep an eye on the injury report going into Friday. Make sure you check out steelcurtainnetwork.com. Dave will have you covered there once that is final and have game statuses and all that stuff. Let's go to the Colts though. Dave, what do you got there?
Okay, I'm only going to read players that didn't practice on Thursday, and there's only 3 of them because everyone else was back and full for them on Thursday, other than wide receiver Anthony Gould with the knee didn't practice, defensive end Samson Ebukam, maybe Ebukam.
Samson.
Okay, with a knee he didn't practice, and defensive tackle Grover Stewart with a foot did not practice. There's some other names on there, like cornerback Kenny Moore. Who else did I see? Wide receiver Josh Downs, safety Nick Cross, but all those guys that were names on there were full on Thursday after not practicing Wednesday. So to me, that's once you're back and full, chances are you're playing.
Yeah, I agree. Bryan, anything to mention here?
Yeah, you know what? The Colts, they're feeling fine right now. They are feeling, like I like to say, feeling froggy and ready to go. And I just feel like there's not many guys on that list that are that haven't returned to practice that you really worry about. Anthony Gould, he's a wide receiver. With the wide receivers that they have there, you don't even sweat it.
No, I agree.
Yeah, there's nothing there
I don't think so either. All right, so let's go around the horn here. We're gonna do what we always do: offense, key to victory, if you want to call it that. And then we'll do defense after that. Dave, what do you got for us? Offense first.
Okay. Biggest key, because I was really surprised. You got my reaction in real time if you didn't listen to Pittsburgh Standard Time, because I was looking at some of the Colts stuff numbers right on the spot. No, I mean, not the ones I normally do, but just some other things based on their opponents. And I was like, interesting. The Colts have had a takeaway in every game this season. Yes. So a key to the Steelers offense is take care of the football.
That's a good one.
Because the Colts defense right now just looks so much like the Steelers did last year and at the beginning of the season, where they give up a ton of yards, but they don't give up as many points because they get a lot of takeaways. Now we've seen that happen with the Steelers last year game. When that dries up, unless you're playing somebody like the Browns, you're struggling to win because they dropped the last 2. If they could do the same thing to the Colts and say, hey, can you win a game without getting a takeaway? Can you actually get the defensive stops you need to get in order to win this game in that regard? So the Steelers, well, first of all, that only works if you keep pace. You've got to keep pace with the Colts offense going up against a rough Colts defense who's almost as bad ranked as the Steelers, but you've got to take care of the ball by doing it.
I like that. Bryan, what about you on offense?
This is the National Football League, and I just talked about it. Have a backup plan. Run the ball more than 3 times in the second half, and don't make an excuse that you can't run the ball now because you lost your jumbo package. I don't care if you're down by 13 points. You still have time to run the ball and keep them off balance. Don't be predictable. That's the other thing. And because when you're just passing all the time in that situation, no one expects you to run. You lose the play action. You're covering so much better and take care of the football. But a different way of taking care of the football to me is get better hands. The hands have been pretty good this season. I felt like Austin and Metcalf could have pulled in a few more balls for the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers. But the other thing that I want to say is, don't lose your head again. Realize that last year, I want to talk about last year real quick. And one of the reasons George Pickens is gone is, and I know he's having a fantastic year, and people are going to argue, should have never let him go. No, that had to be done. But he was so predictable because everybody knew that they could get him to pop off. So they'd go after him and make him pop off. And that's what would happen now if DK Metcalf is going to do the same thing and want to fight, if Broderick Jones is going to want to fight, then I'm going to tell my guys, if I'm the coach of the Colts, if I'm Shane Steichen, all right, get under his skin. Get us a couple of free 15s. Yeah. And that's what they did last week. They really got undisciplined and put them out of position where they had to punt and a couple times because of penalties.
Yeah, they got to play a cleaner brand of football for sure. I'm going to say my offensive key is to exploit the middle. If you listen to my Wednesday podcast, Marcus talked about how if there's a weakness in the secondary, it's the middle. The linebackers are not that great. And so the Steelers are kind of built for that, really. And Aaron Rodgers, if he can execute those throws, I think they can move the ball through the air. This Colts pass defense, like Dave said, is not good statistically. And so as you see, when we get to the prediction side of things, I've got this thing tilting in a strong way in terms of points scored. So let's go to defense now. Dave, what do you think?
Defense. The problem is the Colts are very balanced. They're sixth running the football. They're sixth passing the football. That's why they're the number one offense. But if you can't stop, and it's not stop, if you can't slow down Jonathan Taylor, that's one that you're not going to be able to recover from. So I know everyone's like, oh, the pass defense is so terrible. It's so terrible. True. You've got to give the pass defense the opportunity that if they make a stop, then they're stopped. Not just because, well, even if they stop them with the pass, then they'll just run against them. So you've got to slow down Jonathan Taylor. That's still got to be number one. I know the pass defense is where you're saying, oh, that's what's so bad. Yeah, then you have to make sure that you're shoring up the stopping the run. Well, like I said, you can't stop him. I don't think you can stop him, but you can slow him down pretty good. They did very well against Josh Jacobs last week, but he's a little bit more, how do I say it? He's a little bit more in the Najee Harris realm, like how he was with the Steelers. That was when he was in the game, you had a better idea that they're going to run the ball. So they were a little bit over that. That's not the case with Jonathan Taylor. He could run out of any personnel group with any formation. He can still run the ball. So slow him down, because if you don't even have to worry about your pass defense being bad. They'll just run you to death with him.
I'm with you. There's some people out there that, like you said, Dave, would talk about the pass defense. If you're going to pick your poison, I would take my chances with Daniel Jones over Jonathan Taylor any day of the week. Mm-hmm. And I know he's having a good year. Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, whatever. He's complete resurgence. But all right,
Indiana Jones. Is that what they're trying to get him to be now? Sorry.
Bryan, what do you think?
All right. I've thought long and hard, and Dave's answer was so good. So I'm going to go in a different direction with two different scenarios. The first one is simple. Pray. The second one is a lot harder to execute and could involve some police visits. And it's room service food poisoning. I think that's how the Steelers are going to win this football game. So that's what I'm really hoping for. If you saw I believe it was a 1998 episode of the show Coach, when they were no longer at Minnesota State, they were in Orlando as an expansion NFL team, and they went to Buffalo for a playoff game, and Luther got them free wings at a Buffalo eatery. The wings were tainted and poisoned, and they lost the playoff game by like 50 points because everybody was throwing up and couldn't play.
That reminds me, the way you just described that was like Billy Madison when he's got his teacher in his tent. And she's like, what do you want to do? And he goes, well, I've got a couple ideas. One involves a stuffed buffalo for safety. Some ice cubes, a 9-iron. He goes, and then the nut that would be stay the same buffalo, but let's take the 9-iron for a pitching wedge. I'm going to keep it simple. Dave, you said about the offense keeping it clean. Can the defense get some freaking takeaways again? Yeah. And I know the Colts don't turn it over a lot. They've only turned it over 4 times this whole season.
That's why they're 7-1. They don't turn it over, and they have a lot of takeaways.
But my gosh, and they don't give up a lot of sacks. They've only surrendered 9 sacks this whole season. Like, their offensive line is really good. But I'm sorry, there's ways to create splash, and the Steelers need it on defense in a really, really bad way. So, all right, there you have it. When we come back after this break, we're going to dive into the over-under game. We're going to do predictions. We'll have some fun to finish out the show. If you're watching live, don't go anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, Steeler fans, we are back second half. Thank you all for being patient with us. It's time for the over-under game. So we always do coming out of the break. And Dave, you want to update us on last week was rough.
No, it wasn't.
Really?
Not for you. You bounced back, Jefferson.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because Bryan and I had the exact same picks for your picks. And we both got 2. But Jeff, you went a different way on 2 of them, and you got them both right. Bryan and I, we got them both wrong. So you made up 2 whopping points on us. So now you're only down to Bryan by 4 and me by 7. So because Jeff's at 19, Bryan's at 23, I'm at 26. When it comes to picking the games, I don't know why Bryan takes a push, because the only way I could give him a point for it is if they actually push. Even though he picked the Packers to win, he did it on a push. So all we all got was the over. So Jeff's still up there by 1 point, 8 to 7-7. And that's where we stand.
Hey, like the Bruce Willis movie filmed in Pittsburgh, PA, I'm in striking distance. Keep that in mind.
Oh, nice. If you break out into Little Red Riding Hood, I'm going to love it.
Hey there, Little Red Riding Hood. That's an underrated Bruce Willis movie, by the way. Okay.
Very underrated.
Yeah.
And great job by John Mahoney from Frasier as the dad in it.
And that's a young Sarah Jessica Parker, isn't it?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. All right. Let's do over-under week 9 against the Colts. Here we're going to start off with Pittsburgh Steelers passing attempts. Not Aaron Rodgers' Steelers team, so in case they get fluky and decide to have a halfback pass, that still counts. I've got the 9 at 34.5 pass attempts. Bryan, what do you think?
I'm actually going to go over, because I think they're going to be down a good part of this game, and I think they're not going to be able to resist passing.
Okay. Dave?
Yeah, I'm going to go over as well, because basically what Bryan said, that if I look at this game and I'm going to pick the Steelers to win, then I'm going to say, oh, wow, they're going to run the ball a bunch and actually stick to it and everything else, and run it well. That's the key. Because Bryan said, I got to run the ball more. As long as you're running it well, don't do Week 18 last year against the Bengals when they insisted on running and they couldn't run it at all, but they still kept doing it. So for that reason, the way the game I see playing out, the more likely scenario is that they're going to have to go over that.
I'm going over, and I think that's not out of necessity. I think it's by design. I think they're going to try and throw on this team, and I think it's going to work. We'll talk about that.
You could have a lot of short passes. You could have a lot of passes to the running backs and a lot of dump offs to the tight ends over the middle.
And Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if people don't listen to his media availability every week. You should. Every Wednesday, I do that while I clean up dinner as my wife is gone with the kids. And he tells you more than you think about like the game plan and stuff. And he talked about how he loves checking it down to Jalen Warren and just seeing what he can do. That might be spot on, Dave. All right, let's go to the next one. Aaron Rodgers passing touchdowns. I've got the line at 2.5. Bryan, over under.
You know what? I'm actually going to go under this week, which very easily he can get 3. And I'm going to switch it up. I don't think that's a bad thing if he only has 2. I think that the running game the ground game might be a little bit better if they're in a situation to go ahead and get in from the 1 yard line. But what's been very impressive, though, which makes me apprehensive to go under, is the fact that they don't have to be on the 1 yard line a whole heck of a lot. They're in a situation where Rodgers his touchdowns are longer than we've seen in the last couple of years.
Dave, over under.
I'm going to take the over here because I think they will have more passing touchdowns than rushing touchdowns. If they have any rushing touchdowns, we'll see. I mean, look, last week the Steelers even got down to the 2 yard line. What they do right off the bat? Passing touchdown to DK Metcalf. So they're not afraid to throw it on the goal line either. So it's not just like they're inside the 5. They're going to keep running it. I'm going with the trend of I'm not going to believe it that the Steelers are going to do this until they show me. And right now the Steelers are showing me that they weren't willing to run the ball in the second half, even with when they started off with a 9-point lead. So I'm going to go that it's going to be more passing.
I'm going over as well. They score points through the air. It's just their main mode of transportation once they get into the red zone. So I'm going to go over. All right. This is turning into the Deontay Johnson touchdown over under that I used to do. Pittsburgh Steelers takeaways. The line is a half. Bryan, over under.
You know what? I'm actually going to go over. It's only going to be one, but let's go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, my thing is yes, this is a team that doesn't turn the ball over. If the Steelers, I said it on Pittsburgh Standard Time, if they could win the turnover battle, this becomes a game. Because the Colts, that's what they do. That's what they do is they win the turnover battle. So therefore, I'm going to go with some wishful thinking, and I'm going to say over.
Under. This team's not the team to do it, just like Green Bay wasn't last week either, I don't think. So I hope I'm wrong. I hope I lose this one, but I've taken the under. All right, Jaylen Warren rushing yards. I've got the line at 65.5.
Did you see in the live chat? He put it in there 6 minutes ago.
Yep.
That's freaky. That's 2 weeks in a row, man.
Yeah.
He's bugging your house, I think.
Is he here somewhere?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? The 60, I had it written down, didn't scratch it out or anything. 65.5. There you go. What do you guys think? Bryan, over under?
You know what? I'm going to go over.
Okay. Dave?
This is tough. You know what? I really want him to go over, but if I think of it realistically, I think he goes over 100 yards, but I think he's going to have more passing yards or receiving yards than rushing yards. For that reason, I'm going to say under. That's a good line, though.
Yeah. I'm going to go under as well. I agree with Dave. He finished, I think, last week with 62. I think that's going to be right around where he is going to be. But again, if he breaks one big run, like it could completely break everything. So I'm going to go slightly under. All right, Chris Boswell field goals. We're going to set the line 2.5. Bryan, over under.
Let me look at my score again.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I'm going to go ahead and say under.
Okay.
He's going to have 2.
All right. Dave?
Based on my score, I'm going under, and I'm going to tell you, if he is under, that could be a scenario where that's good for the Steelers because they're not settling for as many field goals. But based on my score, I have to say under, although I really want to say over to this.
I'm going over. I'm going over for sure. And the last one, Jonathan Taylor rushing yards. So let's see how many. I've got it at 115.5. Bryan, over under.
I'm going over. The guy's magic.
Dave?
I'm not ready for these kind of questions of something for the Colts. So as you can see, I'm trying to look up real quick to see. Oh my goodness, I can't freaking type. That I want to know what kind of what he normally has.
Let me know what you come up with.
I can't spell his name right. There it is. So far this year, his rushing totals. Okay. Yards. Against Miami, he had 71. Against Denver, 165. Against Tennessee, 102. Against the Rams, 76. Against the Raiders, 66. Against Arizona, 123. Against the Chargers, 94. And against Tennessee, 153. I already had mine written down. I just wanted to feel better about it and thought I'd throw it out there. I actually wrote down under already.
I think under as well. This, to me, has the Philadelphia Eagles plan all over it from last year where they went to Philly and said, Saquon Barkley's not going to kill us. And he didn't. Jalen Hurts did. But that's neither here nor there. So there you have it. Those are the 6 over-unders for this week. Let's do our predictions. As of this being recorded, the Pittsburgh Steelers are getting 3 points at home with a total. with a total of, some books are 3.5, by the way,
Okay.
but the one that I'm looking at was 3, and then a total of 50.5 as the total. So, Bryan, you're picking against Pittsburgh. We know this, but what's the score and how's it go down?
All right, I want to be wrong, and I'm fine being wrong because I live in a house with a wife and a daughter, and even a son that tells me I'm wrong 3 or 4 times an hour. So, with that being said, if I'm wrong, I'm a happy guy. And I'm a happy guy in life. I look at this, and I really think the Steelers, you guys have me convinced that the Steelers could win, but I still have to pick against them this week because of my proclamation and my frustration. I'm going to go ahead and say that the Pittsburgh Steelers lose this game 35-28. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to have 4 touchdowns. I have them getting 2 field goals, a 2-point conversion in there as well, and one that fails. So if you go ahead and look at that, it's going to be 35-28. The Steelers.
You would need just one to be successful, and that would give you 28 if you have 2 field goals.
Okay, then the one doesn't fail.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So there you go. 35
7 shots, baby.
35-28.
Yep.
All right, Dave.
Yeah. Okay. So let me add that. That's the over. I'm already right now with Jeff being the over.
Hell yeah.
I'm taking the over. I came up with my score very early in the week because I said, you know what? I'm not going to let this change, and I'm not going to let this team convince me that they're going to win this game. Even though I'm putting my wife's perfect record of in-person attendance on the line, do I think the Steelers can win this game? I feel a lot more like they could. I can see scenarios now where they could win this game. I still don't think it's the most likely outcome. That's the difference with this right now. So I've decided I am not trusting the Steelers defense to stop anybody until they show me that they actually can, especially the number 1 defense in the number 1 offense in the NFL. So I would love nothing more for them to show me that they can, so I can start looking at that going forward. But for now, I'm not. I'm going with the Colts 38-27.
Okay. So I think this game, for those that like defense, look away. That's what I think this game is going to be like. If you like defense, just I mean, it's going to be cringeworthy. I think this is a game that Aaron Rodgers could go over 300, I believe, for the first time as a Steeler. I think he could be chucking the ball around the yard. I like the Steelers here. I'm not going to lie. I think this is a wild game. We've seen a lot of wild games with the Colts. I go back to the Ben Roethlisberger 6-touchdown game, and Andrew Luck goes off in the same game. I've got Steelers winning 37-34. How do they get there? Who the hell knows? But I'll tell you what, Steelers 37, Colts 34. That's way over. And I think it's a game that we'll talk about for a long time. And I just hope they come out on top. But hey, I'll tell you this. I think that Steeler fans will still be mighty pissed because they'd give up over 30 again. It would just be more of the defensive woes, but still.
This is just one. If you freaking win the game, just freaking win the game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Bryan, can I ask you a question?
Hit me.
Okay. We've been doing, I joined you all on the Steelers preview, I think starting in the 2019 season, 2019. I came in at maybe the end of 2018.
It was the end of 2018.
Can you remember any time that Jeff Hartman has not picked the Steelers on the Steelers preview?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, 1 or 2 times.
I can't remember.
One time against the Patriots where they were going to Gillette, and I'm like, they're not going to win this game. I picked against them. The other time, I think it was a trip to Philadelphia. Not last year, because I said all streaks have to come to an end last year. The trip before that, and I was like, I think they're going to break the streak. And I said I don't think they break the streak, and they didn't. So yeah, it's happened. But
I thought if there was ever a game that Jeff might have this season not pick the Steelers, I thought it might have been this one the way it shaped up. But no,
I look at this. I look at
the
defense.
I am so much happier that Jeff did pick the Steelers because that tells me there is hope for this game. So thank you very much, Jefferson.
Yeah, you're fine. I look at the defensive numbers for the Colts, and I'm not impressed.
Yeah,
I'm not impressed at all. I think this could be an up and down, back and forth affair, which is like, okay, which offense isn't going to cash in the red zone? That's in the red zone numbers favor Pittsburgh.
One turnover in this game
absolutely
could make a difference. If there's just one, whoever team turns it over is more likely to lose.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Bryan, we get to guess. Did I already guess the game?
I have a guess.
Go ahead, Dave.
I'm going 2014 when they put up 51.
I was
close.
I was going, I don't know the year, but I was going with the 6 touchdown game where Ben and Andrew Luck went toe to toe. That was a fun one.
We were going to go, I was thinking of going that was 2014. I was there in the stadium. However, no. I've actually switched it up.
Oh,
and
let me guess again.
No, you're not going to guess because you don't know what I'm going to do here.
Okay.
It's going to be Labor Day weekend of 1985. Mark Malone, 5 touchdowns. No, just kidding. It's going to be Jeff and Dave. You make the call. Do we go to the AFC Championship game, 1995 season, or do we go 10 years later to the divisional playoff game, 2005 season?
Well, one of them was in Pittsburgh and one of them wasn't.
Right.
Yes.
3 Rivers. Yeah, 95.
So we got to go 95, I guess.
Although my most favorite game of all time really is that divisional game in the 2005 season. But let's stick to the form and say go for the one in Pittsburgh.
All right, we will do that. So let's go back to 1995. And this was a very special game for me because the Steelers were back in the AFC Championship game after the year before, 3 more yards, the 60-minute men that did not go 60 minutes. If you know the name Alfred Papunu, you're still cursing him. Now, a year later, Nob Harbs comes to town. Not a lot of people remember that was Jim Harbaugh at quarterback.
Oh, I remember. I remember reading his lips. I thought he caught it.
Captain Comeback.
Captain Comeback, and they actually came back in that game and were leading in that game. Neil O'Donnell throws a beautiful pass to Ernie Mills that goes down to the 3-yard line. Then you get Bam Morris taking it in. All of a sudden, the Steelers are down, and then O'Donnell throws a sure interception that Quentin Coriat drops. They get another chance, and they win that game. They're able to get back in it, and next thing you know, they're throwing that long Hail Mary that Andrew Bailey or something Bailey. It drops to the ground, and I have watched over and over. There's this YouTube clip that shows the referee that made that call. It's really cool. It's about 14 minutes, but it's really cool and everything that he went through. And yes, it did drop. So I remember calling my dad afterwards. I was at my friend's house. It was a Cowboys fan's house. We were getting ready to watch their game after our game. And my friends knew how much of a Steeler fan I was. I'm calling my dad and I'm crying, talking to my dad because they're going to the Super Bowl. Next thing you know, my friends bought champagne and they're pouring it over my head. And I'm telling you, I had temporary blindness and it hurt so bad, but I didn't care. The Pittsburgh Steelers and Bill Cowher were going for one for the thumb. They didn't get there, but it was a magical day, a frozen day, as I was drenched with champagne.
Well, both of these options gave me freaking heart attacks in different ways. Like you go 05, and when they negated Troy Polamalu's interception when he was getting up, and then that stems the whole Peyton Manning comeback, gave me a heart attack. And that's, not even talk about the fumble. The fumble wouldn't have happened if Troy's interception doesn't get overturned.
And that was such an obvious interception.
Yes.
It's like, you can catch the ball, roll over twice, but if you can't stand up and hold on to it, it must be incomplete.
I got to tell you something funny about that.
That was such an obvious, hey, we got to keep the Colts in this game here.
Oh, yeah.
This is supposed to be the beloved team. It was, oh, my goodness.
So I've got a great story, if you don't mind me extending, because this is actually funny. My buddy, he was dating this woman, and she said, hey, I want to watch some Steeler games. So, and it was the off season. I want to watch Steeler games to get what you're passionate about. And so they're watching this game. And right when that happens, he goes, that son of a bee right there. Hey, that referee, blah, blah, blah. She goes, That's my high school principal.
Ah,
And he goes, well, Pittsburgh hates him. He's the nicest man in the world. I'm like,
I mean, do you imagine if Vanderjagt doesn't miss that field goal when they go to overtime, the Steelers lose, how much that play would live on in Steelers lore?
I'll go out on a ledge and say that Jerome Bettis isn't in the Hall of Fame if that happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
Also, I was going to ask a question about the game we were talking about, the one that was technically in January '96. I remember that was my senior year of high school. What set up the Hail Mary? The play before was they spiked the ball. Why did they spike the ball?
Was it a scramble?
Yeah, it was Harbaugh scrambled. He got 9 yards on 1st and 10, but with 21 seconds, when you snap the ball and no timeouts, you can't do that and get tackled in bounds and think you're going to. I mean, when he did that, he gave them one more play and then it almost put it off. But really, that was a bit of a play that you're like, they should have had a couple chances to get closer, or at least more than one shot to the end zone.
I think if that was 20 years later, it's not even a problem, because where we see teams getting the ball with 13 seconds left and kicking a field goal to win, we just saw it with the Steelers and Bengals, 31 seconds. You know, it's easy to throw down the middle or it's easy to go ahead and storm down the field with less than a minute.
That ball, I swear, it hung up in the air for an eternity while watching that Hail Mary. And I know I'm not alone when I watch that game. It's like, and then it's bouncing around, and it's, oh my God, it's on his chest. He's gonna catch the football.
I mean, it looked live on TV like he caught it.
Yeah.
And that's why you're so grateful, because with no replay back then, that when they showed the slow down replay, that the official was right there and got the call right.
All right. Let's do some trivia, Dave.
Right. This is going to be a little bit different. It's still, here you go. We are playing Steelers Jeopardy. You must answer these in the form of a question. Like if I say to Jeff, who is the greatest, he was the greatest hockey player of all time, Jeff would say,
who is Mario Lemieux?
There we go. So we've got basically Steelers and Colts. These are once again players that played for both the Steelers and Colts. We have for 200, 400, 600, 800, or 1,000. Bryan, you are the reigning champion, so you get to go first.
I'm going to go right away. Let's keep Jeff in this. Let's go for 200.
200. All right, here we go. For 200. This quarterback, drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, never appeared in a game, but played for 17 seasons with the Baltimore Colts, including 10 Pro Bowls, 5 All-Pros, Super Bowl champion, and 3-time NFL champion. Jeff.
Who is Johnny
Jeff is
Unitas?
Boston. Who is Johnny Unitas? Ding, 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 ding. All right. Jeff, the board is yours.
Let's go 400.
400. All right. This player, drafted in the first round by the Detroit Lions, had his first Pro Bowl in his first of 2 seasons in Indianapolis, followed by 2 seasons to end his career in Pittsburgh, where his final reception was for a touchdown.
Drafted by Detroit.
First round by the Lions. His only Pro Bowl season was his first in Indianapolis of 2 years. Finished his career 2 years in Pittsburgh with his final play being a touchdown reception. Bryan.
Who is Eric Ebron?
Ding, 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 ding.
And he got hurt on that touchdown.
Hurt on that play and never played another NFL snap.
Nice.
Very good. Bryan, the board is yours.
Let's go 600, Dave.
Okay, 600. Okay. This Steelers offensive lineman, drafted in the 3rd round, is more known these days for his social media presence, but finished his career playing 2 games for the Indianapolis Colts. I could say after his 7-year career in Pittsburgh, finished with playing 2 final games for the Indianapolis Colts.
Ding, ding, ding.
Bing, bing.
Oh.
Who I heard Jeff first, honestly.
Okay.
Who is Zach Banner?
No.
I didn't know if he finished it. I don't because he bounced. No, I don't know.
He wasn't drafted in the 3rd round by the Steelers.
That's right.
Yeah. Bryan.
Who is Trey Essex?
That is correct.
Hey.
Who is Trey Essex?
It's the social media part that got me.
Oh, really? I know
That's what got me.
Twitter.
I thought he was a 5th rounder, and then I guessed.
Out of Northwestern.
Yep.
Yeah. Bryan, the board is yours. You have 800 or 1,000.
Let's go. Actually, let's skip to 1,000.
Skip to 1,000. Okay. Here we go. This center played 7 seasons for the Colts before playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 4 years, where he was selected to his only Pro Bowl, only to return to the Colts for his final season. Jeff, you might want to buzz in on this one.
Ding, ding, ding. Buzz Nutter. Who's Buzz Nutter? Who is Buzz Nutter?
Buzz Nutter! Buzz Nutter!
My card. Bryan got me a Buzz Nutter card. It's up on my desk upstairs.
Yeah, he started with Baltimore Colts, 4 years in Pittsburgh, where he did have 1 Pro Bowl, and then he went back for 1 more season in Baltimore. And the last one for 800. This is interesting.
This is for the win.
I guess
I don't know. I wasn't keeping track of it.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Did you take off the 600 that Jeff got wrong?
Oh no.
Okay. So here we go. This is for 800. This former 4th round selection of the Pittsburgh Steelers has appeared in the last 3 games for the Indianapolis Colts.
Say that one more time.
This former 4th round pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers has appeared. I'll even say this has appeared. No, I can't say it that way because I can't prove that. Okay, I'll start over. This former 4th round pick of the Pittsburgh Steelers has appeared in the last 3 games of this season for the Indianapolis Colts.
I'm trying to 4th round picks because
I'm going to be able to do it. We're going to have to do a commercial break there.
Martavis Bryant was a 4th round pick, but I won't go with that because he's out of the league.
Okay, I'll say this. This former 4th round pick. I can't. No, I can't say that. That'll be too easy.
I have drawn a blank. I don't know.
4th round pick.
Maybe I should say this. This linebacker selected in the 4th round by the Pittsburgh Steelers has appeared in the last 3 games for the Indianapolis Colts. You don't know what draft pick for the Steelers is on the Colts team right now. Ooh. I love this one. I had to put Buzz Nutter as 1,000. I'm sorry. That's
well, this one's really tough. Let me think. Wow, that's a great one, and I'm gonna kick myself, aren't I?
It makes me want to bust into an '80s commercial I would hear around Christmas time that I've always thought of whenever I heard this guy's. All right, you're out of time. The answer is, who is Buddy Johnson?
I forgot about Buddy. I forgot he existed.
He's still in the league?
Yeah, he's on the Colts. He's
good for Buddy Johnson.
He started the season with the Cowboys, but then ended up. I don't know if he got cut and picked up by the Colts, but he played the last 3 games for him.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. That's a great question.
Out of Texas A&M, correct? He was drafted right alongside Dan Moore, and they were both.
Yes, he was. They were both fourth. Weren't they both 4th round picks and both from the same school?
They were both Texas A&M guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which former 1st round pick of the Colts ended up costing the Steelers because they offered to pay him more money as an incentive, and when he came over as a free agent, and they got in trouble and banged by the league because of it.
Did he ever play for the Steelers?
Yes. Very good for the Steelers. I believe he came over in 96.
I don't know.
The great Dave?
I'm thinking. It's not Will Warford, is it?
It is Will Wolford.
Ah! It's only because I have a list of players who played for.
We had it on the show before.
Well, I'll tell you this. Hey, here's a quick one. Everyone should know this answer, but it's a great trivia question for Steeler fans that might not be like, well, this type of Steeler fan. Who is the name of the player who picked up Jerome Bettis' fumble in the divisional round playoff game and was tackled by Ben Roethlisberger, who also got stabbed by his girlfriend or wife earlier in the week?
Who is Nick Harper?
There you go.
Harper in the leg.
Nick Harper.
This is Harper in the leg in the kitchen.
All right. Hey, before we do final thoughts, it is the day before Halloween. We used to do whole brackets for Halloween candy. I'm just going to ask you guys real quick, when you take your candy tax from your kids and you have the options of everything on the table, what are you taking, Dave?
If I got to take what I wanted,
well, yes, you're taking it. It's what you want.
But listen, there'll be an explanation to this. It's a Dave answer. Okay. I would take Snickers. Because I don't take Reese's because my kids actually eat those. I take something that they don't eat, but Snickers is my wife's favorite. So I take what nobody eats and is one of my favorite, which is Butterfinger.
So if you didn't care about anyone else.
Oh, then I'm taking the Reese's.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah. I'm taking the Reese's.
Brian, what about you?
I don't tax what they'll eat. I take my tax out of their leftover.
I am in diabetes jail right now, but I'm at a 104 as we speak. I was down when the show started. I was worried because I was at 51. It really collapsed. I didn't know if I was going to make the show, but so I don't know if I'm going to be allowed to take a tax.
Speed dial just in case.
I don't know if they're going to let me take a tax, but probably. I love Snickers. I love peanut M&Ms, but don't lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
You guys talk about Butterfingers. You obviously have had a Butterfinger. Doesn't it seem like it's changed? If you would have talked to 10-year-old Jeff, you could pick any candy bar. I would have said a Butterfinger. Yeah, it was a couple of Halloweens ago. I had one of my kids like, this doesn't taste the same. It's like the chocolate might be different or the inside. I don't know. It just tasted different.
You know what? Butterfinger has to be fresh. It can't be. I mean, if they buy it back in July and put it in it's not as good, but it's really good.
The best thing you can get of Butterfinger, and they don't do them anymore, is the Butterfinger eggs. That's just chocolate that has little pieces of Butterfinger in them, or Butterfinger bells around Christmas, and they don't make them anymore, which is a bummer.
Oh, I like the straight because it's a big candy bar. Now,
I was going to give you guys trivia. What's the difference between a Butterfinger and a Fifth Avenue?
I couldn't tell you last time I've had a Fifth Avenue.
I can't even remember.
Okay. Butterfinger is honey-based, while Fifth Avenue is peanut butter-based.
Now, let me tell you this. I just found this out today watching television. They're advertising Butterfinger with marshmallow, and I don't know if I could do that.
No way. I'll go low-key, underdog, save the day. No one really likes it. Baby Ruth is one of my favorites.
Baby Ruth
goes too, yeah. For the
and
kids, you'll get a lot of
the one that no one talks about that I think is awesome is a Take 5 bar.
Oh, I was afraid you guys wouldn't know what that was. Honestly, those are the best.
You guys like Payday? Do you like Payday? Do you guys like Payday?
Yeah, not really. I'll confess to this about a Take 5.
I like Payday. Yeah,
I don't know if my wife can hear me or not. I saw where they had a bag where you could just get Take 5 bars in it for Halloween. Actually,
he bought himself a bag.
That's my stash right here. Take 5.
That's awesome. Now,
because those are the best.
Let me see your Take 5. Take 5's great, but I'll raise you a whatchamacallit.
Oh, yeah. So whatchamacallit.
Back in the day, I love those. Yeah.
I got one in the mail. This is how stupid I was as a kid. There's a Take 5 bar. As a kid, they sent out whatchamacallit in the mail.
Take 5 bar would be in my belly. Sorry.
Yeah. But they sent out a whatchamacallit in the mail, Brian, and I got it and just ate it. Didn't even think anything of it. Just showed up in the mailbox like, sure, yeah. They're like wanting people to try them.
I think I did too.
I could have been dead 2 times over. Yeah. I didn't care. It tasted good.
Oh,
But anyway,
whatchamacallit's a good candy bar.
All right, let's do some final thoughts here, Bryan. Go ahead.
Oh gosh, I just talking about it, my sugar just went up 300 points. So, this is going to be a fascinating game, fellas, and I really think the Steelers do have an opportunity to win it. But what I've seen the last couple weeks, unless philosophies change, I don't know if they're going to. But what a lot of the talk has been besides this game is how the Steelers are going to get better at the trade deadline. They made the Kyle Duggar move. I like the move. It's, you don't lose too much out of that. But my question is, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, do you really think that they're going to integrate a player at this juncture when Mike Tomlin is always talking about getting on a moving train? So at this point, a lot of people are now talking about the Steelers being sellers rather than buyers. And that might be a better way to go. That doesn't mean you're conceding, but that means you're riding with what you got and not adding something that you're not really willing to add.
All right, Dave, final thoughts?
Yeah, I picked the Steelers early in the week to lose this game because I'm not going to convince myself that I'm going to change. But you know what? This is a time for change because we were talking about the candy and everything. Halloween's tomorrow. Like right now, you turn on the radio, you might hear some Halloween music. I mean, my goodness, I even heard Time Warp on the radio yesterday, which I don't know if I've ever heard that song on the radio before. So, but then come Saturday, I know some people don't do this yet, but I know the Hartmans do. I know the Schofields do.
Hell yeah!
When I'm driving to meet up with Big Bro to go to the game, it's going to be Christmas music in the car. Okay. That's what I expect to hear on the radio station when I turn it on Saturday. That's why the decorations are going up. That's why the tree is coming back to the Steel Curd Network tree is coming back to with us doing that this year. It's all right around the corner. That's the changeover this weekend, at least in my family.
I'm not allowed to.
We have to change our clocks from Saturday night into Sunday, which is really good because I'm not actually getting up to leave for the game as early as I thought. So when you take that into consideration. So this is a weekend for change. Maybe we'll get some change with the Steelers defense, particularly their pass defense, and they can actually stop somebody and the Steelers can pull out a win. Although I didn't pick it, I'm pulling for it like crazy. I'm really excited to get there and go to this game. I do think this one's going to be a little bit more exciting than the one my wife went to last year. Although the Steelers won, we didn't even see them find the touchdown zone. It was just 6 Boswell field goals. And for that reason, my wife now has a Boswell jersey, which she will be sporting on Sunday. But hey, why not Steelers? Why not go out there and make this a statement game and get everything turned around?
Love it. As Rocky Balboa said, I've seen a lot of change in Indians out there in Rocky IV. This has been a great show. I hope y'all check out SteelCurtainNetwork.com. Check out all of our podcasts, not just those that are simulcast on YouTube. Anywhere you get your podcasts, search Steel Curtain Network. Also on any social media platform, search Steel Curtain Network. You'll find us there, except TikTok. We don't do that yet. But nonetheless, that's it. Check out SteelCurtainNetwork.com. Dave, why don't you send us out?
Hey.
We'll see you next week on our Steelers preview.
Steel Curtain Network. Get it.
Everybody else gets a little tight.